So top 10 centers as we round out this thing. Top 10s each position about halfway through the season. The only disclaimer I have is apologies to Andre Drummond fans. He's not here because, well, I can't say this without sounding mean. I think there have been at least 10 guys at center who have been better than Andre this year, even if he's leading them all in rebounds. So there you go. And I did, for like half a second, say things about maybe he could make the All-Star team when I did those All-Star videos. I just kind of stopped believing that. So, number 10, I think I'm going to go Clint Capela. He's playing 33 minutes a game, which is cool because we feared a couple years ago he might not be able to get to that much. I think defensively he remains one of the more versatile dudes in the league. His defensive box score stuff, and I believe his advanced stuff, has all improved this season, so that's cool, I guess. Houston has climbed back to being respectable defensively. I think Capela plays a big role in that. He's not the only reason, but I think he's potentially the biggest reason. And I feel good about Capela, number 10. Been cool. I don't know if he's ever going to make real progress on offense. His free throws still suck. Dribbling, maybe he's like slightly better, but teams are still going to dare him to do stuff off the bounce. It's whatever. Number 9, I'm going to go Montrez, averaging about 20 and 7. The only reason I don't have Montrez higher, even though he's averaging more points than other dudes around here, is because I just feel like he's really benefiting off of talented players around him, which is fine. Capela does the same thing. And other guys who are going to be here do that as well. But those dudes who one I've named and others I will name, are better defensively than Montrez is. So, yeah. And I do become a little bit more of a stickler for defense when we get to the center position. Unless you're Jokic or Towns and you're just so good on offense, I have no choice but to put you really high. So, yeah. Next, I'm going to go... So, I'm trying to decide between LaMarcus Aldridge, who is a center, and Steven Adams. Aldridge, of course, averages way more points than Adams does. But speaking of that defense stuff, and just general rebounding and all the boring stuff, Steven Adams is way better at all that than LaMarcus Aldridge is. And the Spurs have been, meh. That's one way to put it. OKC's been better. However, LaMarcus has been better lately. The Spurs have been better lately. A lot of that because LaMarcus just decided to start shooting threes, which you could argue he decided to do probably about 5 years too late. But he's doing it, and he's been pretty legit at it. And perhaps that pushes him over Adams, but, with Steven Adams, I think he's one of the biggest examples of the box score stuff doesn't tell everything, because, his rebounds per game, he gets 10 a game. But when he's in the game, OKC is number 1 or very close to number 1 in offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, and, in turn, rebounding in total. And that's really a big deal. His playmaking has also been better. Defensively, he has not fallen off, if you ask me. You could even argue he's having his best season, potentially, period. So, I don't know. Aldridge and Adams, they're there. They're like polar opposites of each other. So I don't know who's actually been better. Now, if you want to be like, well, I crapped on Montrez a little bit, and he and Aldridge are basically averaging the same amount of points, I would say, number 1... you might have me, to be honest. But number 2, between Aldridge shooting more threes and the fact that I think LaMarcus carries more of San Antonio's offense than Montrez does with the Clippers, that's kind of my rationale there. Next up, I think I've been pretty consistent with this guy. I said he should make one of the All-Star spots in the East. Domantas Sabonis remains pretty damn good for the Pacers, being an inside presence. I said this in the power forward video. I think he's still played the majority of his minutes at center, even if he actually plays power forward when he and Miles Turner are in there. And he just does a lot of stuff for them. He's one of the best passing bigs in the league. I mean, he just got 10 assists against the Nuggets. He had 6 not long before that against the Wolves. If I look at his stats in January, 20 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. 65% from the field. Free throws are a little down, whatever. He's been really good. Next up, another Eastern Conference big, Bam. I said Capela has been one of the most versatile dudes in the league. You could argue Bam is the most versatile player in the league. Difference between him and Sabonis is I think Bam does more defensively. Miami has not been incredible in the month of January. Like, they've been fine, but they haven't been destroying teams. But I don't think that's Bam's fault. 18, 10, and 5 in this month, switching a bunch of positions defensively, blocking shots, and just doing a whole lot of stuff for Miami. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if he manages to be averaging like 20 points by the end of the season. Not in his total stats, but I could picture him averaging like 20 a game in the month before the playoffs or something. Just off of various things. He gets fouled a lot. That definitely helps. He's shot 15 free throws in the last 2 games, so Bam is really good. So we got 4 left. You're not going to be surprised by who the 4 are. Towns at number 4. He has perhaps fallen a little bit back down to earth since setting the world on fire for some stretch to begin this season. He's also been out for a little bit, which maybe that hurts him, whatever. It seems like every day I have someone in my mentions on Twitter asking me about Karl-Anthony Towns trades. I don't really think we're that close to that happening. I mean, apologies to Wolves fans, but if you force me to pick a yes or a no, does Towns eventually get traded? I have to say yes at this point. But I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow or anything. I mean, the dude's under contract for a while, so they got time. But it's not looking great. Number 3 and 2, it's Gobert and Jokic, and I don't really know who to put over who. Like, I'm probably going to go Jokic 2, Gobert 3, because Jokic has just been that good lately. Gobert has been more consistent all season. I think Gobert, I mean, he already should have made a number of All-Star games. I think he'll make this one. I picked him to make this one. So, yeah, I mean, there's a case to be made for both, and neither case is wrong. The case for Gobert is that he's actually the best center in the league based on every advanced stat you want to look at. The case for Jokic is he's Nikola Jokic. So, and number 1, Joel Embiid, who's kind of like if you combined Jokic and Gobert together, but then got rid of all of Jokic's playmaking abilities. He's still number 1. That sounded kind of mean. But, you know, Embiid, he is beloved by the advanced stuff. He is beloved by the obvious watching of basketball games, even if he and the Sixers can be frustrating at times. Now, I could just be like, well, he's played less games, but I don't think it's that crazy. Like, he's played 31. Gobert, who I'm pretty sure hasn't missed any time at all, has played 40. Okay, fine. 9 games. Maybe Gobert's actually number 1. Utah fans, you did it. Anyway, that'll do it for me. An interesting thing about Embiid, Ben Simmons scores a lot of points when Embiid's not playing. If we look at the last 4 games where I'm pretty sure Joel has not been in there, Ben has scored over 20 points in all 4 on excellent efficiency. So take that for whatever it's worth. I wonder if that will really happen one day. The Embiid or Simmons choice by Philly. I feel like you've got to... We're off the rails at this point, it's fine. I feel like you've got to exhaust all of your options before you even consider that one. So, I mean, that's like firing Brett Brown, giving the new coach at least like 2 playoff runs or something. Like, you're going to have to do a lot before you ever have to even think about making that decision. So, yeah, that'll do it.